Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Vault Studios. Today we're going to be watching some of the new released movies and breaking down the editing and VFX on them. As professional filmmakers, we're going to be giving our opinions on the whole way that they did post, from building tensions and editings to what might be off on the VFX. So let's go ahead and start watching these clips. Now, I brought a bunch of clips from the new Formula One movie. Have any of you seen it yet?
Nope.
No, but it's about like racing cars, right?
It is, and it's by the people
Okay.
that made Top Gun Maverick. And so I feel like it's a pretty interesting technical achievement on the way that they captured speed within the film.
Didn't like a new Top Gun just like come out recently too?
Yeah, it was by the people that just made that new Top Gun a few years ago. Start with one of these clips and see how it builds tension within the scene.
Overtake! Copy! He's been gaining boom! Joshua Hare slingshots past Sonny Hayes, and now he's in striking distance of P1.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the way that they ended up building tension in the film?
The shots of showing where the cars are at and how they're inching closer to the reactions of the people, and I guess it's a control room. I don't know what that's for when it comes to cars, but like those reaction shots are always necessary. You want to know what other people are thinking about the tension that's happening on screen. There's a few other ones I could think of, but what do you think?
I think, yeah, what you said, like, I think those shots, some people forget, like, to add those, especially, like, in short films, like, adding those, like, little shots add to the tension. It really helps build up the tension. I think it was, like, the sound design, you know, you can, like, hear the acceleration of the car going, and then when it stopped, you knew, like, something happened, like, oh, he passed the other guy. Or, like, right before it went silent, it was, like, that acceleration. It led up to quietness.
Yeah.
And then it's, like, you knew they were going to do that because then the actor had to act more because they knew you couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah. Another thing is like the fast pace of the cutting from, you know, what's kind of cool in like car racing scenes is you don't necessarily have to show people the entire route that they're doing and make all of the cuts super clear in that way. You can kind of jump around and just show a wheel or show the front of the car or show, you know, just them like jostling around in the vehicle, and it adds enough tension to, if it was only that though, it wouldn't work. You'd just be like, okay, great, so they're just racing, or...
I think shots of like the diagram too like really help to build tension, as you were saying, because like otherwise if you take that out, you just don't really know where people are in the space, and you just see shots of people in a car and then shots of people like reacting to it. But having those little diagrams really kind of put into perspective how close they are and like how much they are about to pass these people, and really gives you like a diagram of what's going on in the race.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And it kind of needed all of that to go to the point of the car flip. Like, if they didn't build it with all of those little scenes and everyone's like hope and reaction that they're gonna make it, it's gonna be awesome. You know, the car flip and the explosion would have felt a lot less of, wouldn't have felt as like tragic or much of a disaster. It would have been too abrupt. Yeah. So the clip that I wanted to show today is from Jurassic World. I'm a big, you know, Jurassic Park fan, and I'm excited to see this. It's not a sequel to Dominion. It's actually just a story in and of itself, and it's not like the park theme. It's a whole thriller. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna see it this weekend, but I wanted to bring up a clip from it and just see what your guys' thoughts were and see how much maybe you could relate back to Steven Spielberg's you know, original take on showing off these dinosaurs and showing the wondrousness of it.
The Titanosaur herd should be right across this valley.
Well, they're herbivores, right?
Yeah,
That's good.
but the things that hunt them aren't.
Oh, great.
Shh. Quiet.
This film is directed by Gareth Edwards, who did the Rogue One Star Wars and Godzilla, so it's going to be interesting to see his take on doing a more action-packed thriller.
It's a very like traditionally whimsical scene, I think. Like you have the music that builds up, and then you kind of have like the love romance of the dinosaur and like the faces that kind of go on with it. It's a very like, it starts almost as like there's going to be tension, something's about to happen, and you kind of feel that in the beginning. The guy eats the nuts, and you think that like that might be a boat or something. Something about to happen that's going to be bad, and then you see, wait, like actually it's not bad, and then it kind of releases some of that tension that was there.
Yeah.
They do that in the first Jurassic Park too, right? It's kind of like an
Yeah.
ode to the original.
Yeah, I feel like it is.
Yeah, that like classic you know, shot on someone's face, they're looking up at the wondrous thing, and you're like, oh my god, what are they seeing? What are they looking at? And then you turn around and you see it, and it's just all the more wondrous.
Yeah, it feels like they're really like making there be tension, creating that tension, and then just releasing it at the very end.
Yeah. What do you guys see in the beginning that you felt like built the tension though? Because it does feel like something bad is about to happen.
I think it's just the longer shots, generally wider stuff. They're kind of all like tense, kind of walking through it. They feel like there's like something that's like supposed to be there. The way that they did the gag with like the guy eating a snack, it feels like it's like, you know, kind of like the fight, the quick face snaps over to looking at him. Feel like there's supposed to be something bad that's about to happen.
Yeah.
It was very like chill, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. It's like, oh, something bad's gonna happen.
There's like this expectation of something that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was also, I mean, like, even sound design wise, just the rustling of the leaves has like a cue for like what kind of predator is in, or not leaves, what are those? Grass shoots? Who knows? Wonderful, luscious plain that they were in. Hear the rustling in those.
The wrestling was very prominent, like, that kind of had something to do with what was gonna happen. Like, were you gonna hear someone else that wasn't there in the leaves? It kind of like built that suspense.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. And you also see, like, shot-wise, you see, like, the vastness of where they're at. You know, like, there was one that just, it was like a camera movement that kind of went arcing around the whole group, and you really see, like, these like, people are alone in a really big world. It adds to the kind of vulnerability
Absolutely.
of the situation, for sure. Yeah.
I also brought clips from the Minecraft movie.
Nice.
I saw that movie and I fell asleep.
No.
You
I haven't
fell
seen it.
you fell asleep in the theater?
I have never fallen asleep in the theater until that movie.
Wow, why'd you fall asleep?
It was just so cringy and so boring and so just like, what am I watching? And then I fell asleep.
That's hard to hear. I loved Minecraft when I was in middle school.
Have
I
you seen the
played it.
movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie.
I was so excited. I was so excited because I love Minecraft. I went right before the movie. I went to McDonald's and got a Happy Meal, a Minecraft Happy Meal. Then I watched the movie and I was like, "What is this?"
It's so bad.
So bad.
Well, let's talk a little bit about it then. So that was the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I remember watching that and I was like, "This is so like predictable." A lot of the movie was predictable, which I understand. You know, it's like geared towards kids, but it's like something like for you, you read a lot of scripts. Do you ever like write a script and you're like you envision it coming out one way, and then when you go and film it, you're like, I don't like how this is coming out. Like, it's so predictable. I wish I would have added more storylines into the script. Have you ever dealt with something like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely have dealt with that before. I think that actually pretty much a lot of the stuff that I've made. But, I mean, it just has to do with, like, there's so many different circumstances that can attribute to that. But I do think if the heart and the soul of the script has things that are exciting and interesting, mostly that can be translated with, you know, the right resources and the support and things like that. But when something like this, it's almost like there's no excuse because it's big name celebrities, there's so much money behind it, there's just so many opportunities to get like some of the best writers to help make something that is really interesting to watch. So it's a little bit more disappointing when you see it in like a blockbuster form rather than, you know, my own personal indie filmmaking, because you're just like, wow, you know, you guys have access to everything, and yet somehow you procured this extremely boring movie. You know, you could have consulted anybody about this, you know, just even like your average filmmaking people like us, you know, watch it and we're just like, what is going on here? I think my like first qualm with it is actually the I don't know if it should have been like made to look realistic, like live action. I think it might have done better if it was like an animation. But that's just...
I think touching on that is an interesting thing looking at the VFX, because when I saw the trailers, I was expecting it almost to be like exclusively shot on green screen or blue screen, and realizing that the whole thing's really done a lot on sets. They built like the town of the villagers, and I have a video we can look at. What we're watching here is like the full set that they built on stage, and they're doing some extension kind of off of it, but like they built everything. They built the interactive props that they're having, and so it's not really just, you know, it's not just like what you would expect if you just did it on a green screen, which when I first saw the trailers and saw the film, I was expecting it to be like primarily green screen, and instead it's so much more realistic sets, which I think especially for something like the Minecraft movie, when we see it, maybe because it's like thought of as a video game or such this different world, but it would feel like it's done green screen or digitally instead of realizing like, oh, it's, you know, half reality, half computer generated with, you know, the creatures and the rest of the people that they're interacting with.
I think it allows artists to, at least like for prop design, set design, to create a whole nother world. Like that's kind of what we're doing with our commercial. You know, you guys had those interactive features and we just changed the background.
Yeah.
What do you think adds to the way that it looks so fake to the viewer? Because did you experience it fake, like looking kind of like computer generated when you saw it?
I don't really know because it was very like HDR. Like the filters just kind of made it feel like all cohesive. I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like it looked really fake.
What do you think made it look so like, you know, fake?
I think that's why I think it should have been an animation, because just adding like the cartoonish expression onto these like CGI like animals, and the thing is like you're trying to create this like high tension, very real situation of these people being stuck in this environment, and he's, I guess, I mean, I haven't seen the film, but my guess is that he's there to help them get out or help them get through and navigate this Minecraft world. But because of like this fakeness feeling, and even some of the conversational moments of like that guy talking to the, you're just watching this and you're just like, how is this, what does this have to do with the plot right now? Like, what is this, what is actually motivating the story to continue? I feel like I'm just watching like an empty scene. I don't know if I'm just ripping this apart right now, but like that's probably why you fell asleep, because you know the second that you have something that's just like a boring conversation or moment, like I'm even struggling with that with something that we're editing right now, where I just like, looking back on it, I'm just like, damn, like I wish, you know, I would have seen this or I would have done that differently. And it is hard to do, to make it always engaging and always engage the subtext. But, you know, at that level, I don't really think there's an excuse. You know, they have access to every filmmaker that they would ever possibly need to make it good. So why is it still bad?
Yeah, I think I was just like so
Tell me why.
unengaged. I think that was the problem. I was like, this is so boring. I'm gonna take a nap.
Yes. Yeah. And even if you make something for kids, like some of my favorite animations are for kids, but they still engage me. Like, you know, you cannot argue with like the beginning scene of like Up or something like that. Like most people cry when they see it because it's just done so well. And you can storytell on any level and tell a story to any age, and it should still carry a message through no matter who's watching it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. Especially because, like, you know, difference of, like, you know, the movie went hugely popular. And tons of people love it. And it's, like, I think just different demographics of people who watch it and like it. It's, you know, like, I feel kind of like maybe we're not the target demographic for it. Because it's really popular and a lot of people like it. I feel like it's more like, you know, if you enjoy Minecraft or if you just kind of wanted a movie to just kind of sit and, you know, not think too much about, then it's pretty good in that, because it's, you know, wildly popular.
Yeah, I think when I see it from like the set deck stuff that you were just describing, like how much they had to build, I really respect that. And I know that probably took a lot of effort to create all of these different square items and square foods. I love that. Like, I think that part of it is really, really cool.
Recently, this past weekend, I went and saw Lilo and Stitch. In the morning, I watched the animated version, and then during lunchtime, I was like, you know what? Let's go watch the real life version. And I loved it. You know, like, have you guys seen Lilo and Stitch recently?
I have not. Not since I was like probably like 5.
I like resonate with Lilo so much. She's like so angsty and so misunderstood, and it's so crazy to see like when Stitch comes along, it's like that's how she is with everyone else. It's like they're kind of like the same character. But the clip I brought today is a VFX clip, because Stitch, he's CGI, and at the end there's this scene where they save Stitch and they're hugging him and they're like petting him, and there was no like real Stitch like on set. I was watching clips, and a lot of the times they use like a tennis ball, a green tennis ball, to recreate Stitch. And so they're petting him, and it looks so fake. I was like, what is this? So that's what the clip is that we're about to watch.
I think for me that shot's really an interesting VFX shot to look at, especially because it's like the hand feels like it's so disconnected from the character. It feels like there's some inches from the head if they were to do it, and it's not like the character looks bad. It just looks like it's so far away, and it also to me didn't look like there was like fur interaction with the hand. Like it doesn't look like the fur is going down when the hand is scratching, and it just kind of looks like it's there, and someone far away is doing like this. So it feels kind of like just weirdly disjointed.
Yeah, it kind of looks like AI, like when you do those AI generated videos. That's what
Yeah.
it looks like.
I'm surprised that they let that pass. I would have gone back and
to
reshot
be
that
yeah, to be
or
fair, it was the last scene, and I
Yeah.
only saw that happen twice.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just like tired by the end, they didn't even notice, or I don't know what happened.
What?
Probably much more of a classic case of VFX artists being underpaid and
Yeah.
having to be on really tight deadlines and just not having the time to like really go in and finesse it.
Because how do you think they could have fixed that? By making Stitch a little bit bigger, making him a little longer?
I think probably just having more of like some fur interaction and having maybe it like bring the model more closer to the hand because it feels
True,
like
they
the
could have
model.
had like some like head movement by Stitch or something.
Yeah, because it feels like the model. It's like if the hand, if it's supposed to be interacting like this, it feels like the model's here and the hand's here,
Yeah.
and there's some distance. So I feel like if they could have interacted it a little bit better.
Yeah.
See, like, VFX isn't my specialty, but I feel like already what I'm hearing is, like, you want to have the model that you're using be similar, if not the same size, to the thing that you're going to model over it. I don't know if that's always the case or if that's generally true, but they would have, like, probably avoided that problem if they had, like, a green Stitch-formed thing.
Right.
Or maybe even if it's just, like, the base of the body, that's just, like, the head, and then, just the body part, so that, like, there's something to physically... I don't know, and I feel like also, again, acting's not my specialty, but I feel like for an actor it would be nice to have something that you can actually interact with and hold and, have a little bit more of imagination with than a tennis ball, but
Yeah.
that's just a testament to how good actors can be. You're
Yeah.
crying over a tennis ball.
That's why I thought it was so
convincing
weird.
everybody to have this emotional time.
They have like a whole child actor, like interacting with Stitch the whole time, doing like really emotional scenes and stuff, really chaotic scenes, and it's like they didn't have anything for her to interact with. Like,
That's
I just
wild.
think that was kind of like, I guess like good on the actor's part, like good for her, but like then it causes issues like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that must be so, and when you say even like a child actor, like that's pretty impressive, I think, to really have that much imagination. Wow. Yeah,
Well.
that looked rough. That looked rough.
I was in the theater laughing. I was like, what is going on?
Well, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe and come back to our channel to see new videos every Saturday.
All right, see you next time.
Peace.